Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Yes, sir. This is Daily Dose Radio, your home for organic Bible study. Come on in. This is what we like to call the Bible Bistro. Glad you've stopped by today. This is our birthday week. I'm trying to get a picture of everybody who comes by the Bible Bistro this week for a daily 5-minute Bible study. So if you would just stand over there by the fireplace and get real close together, kind of bunch up now, and I'm going to have the photographer come over here and take your photo. Ready?
Smile. Say cheese.
There you go. Picture's taken. So glad you've come, and wow, I've got a choir here. I've got a photographer taking photographs. There's cake on the table, some hot coffee and beverages poured for you. So we're going to have us a good time this week studying Psalm 40. But before we read Psalm 40, and I'm going to read verses 4 through 6 today. Today is the 20th, and this is the day that actually I began Daily Dose Radio 5 years ago. On the 20th of March in 2013, 2013, Daily Dose Radio started. I actually recorded a kind of a test balloon podcast episode, and we did that, and I sent it out to some friends to kind of get some feedback, and I had already that day had engaged Spreaker.com, and it had Spreaker was going to be the platform I used to send out the podcasts. And Spreaker is so handy. It's so easy to use. I'd encourage anybody who's thinking about doing a podcast, start at Spreaker. Spreaker makes it easy. They're friendly. If you have any questions, they're right there to help. It's a really easy platform to use, and they send out to all the social media sites. And it's easy to do it, too. They also give you the option of purchasing apps. So you can have a Spreaker app dedicated to your podcast, which I do. So Daily Dose Radio has an app. It's through Spreaker, and it's just an easy way to do podcasting. So I had used Spreaker, had set up my account with them, kind of playing around with different microphones, different setups. But on the 21st, I recorded my first true episode and launched Daily Dose Radio. We did Psalm 1, verse 1, and following that day, and began setting up a weekly 5-minute a day, 5-day a week, studying the Psalms verse by verse podcast, which I've been doing now ever since. We've not missed a day. Even though I've gone on vacation and I've had personal things that I've had to be away from home or from church, and so still we've been able to make every single day except for the 2 days after the Christmas holiday. I take those 2 days off. I took off about a week at the end of the first go through the Psalms, so that was 4 years. I took a week off, and then we started right back up again into Volume 2. And now we're closing in on the end of Book 2, or on the end of Book 1. It's coming up here in a couple of weeks. We're going to look at Psalm 42. Or actually, Psalm 41 is the end of the first book. Psalm 42 is the beginning of the second book of the Psalms. So that's the story. There's a lot more to it, of course, which I don't have time to go into on the broadcast today, but very just blessed how the Lord has just blessed me with being able to broadcast and do this podcast every single day. And it's been a great blessing in my life. And I, pray that the Lord will bless other people, not only here in America, but around the world. I podcast from Sharonville, Ohio, but I just hope that it goes to the Asian Pacific countries and to the Far Eastern countries and the Asian countries and the European countries and the African countries and the South American countries, just all over the place, that those who can speak English and hear an English broadcast would hear it and enjoy it. That's been my prayer, that the Lord would do that with Daily Dose Radio. Well, I've run out of broadcast time, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and read this passage because there's a lot here that we need to get into today. It'll set up for what we're going to do tomorrow. Blessed is the man that maketh the Lord his trust. Notice, that's the first phrase there in verse 4. We got another beatitude here, don't we? Blessed is that man that maketh the Lord his trust, and respecteth not the proud, nor such as turn to lies. Many, O Lord my God, are thy wonderful works which thou hast done, and thy thoughts which are to usward, they cannot be reckoned up in order unto thee. If I would declare to speak of them, they are more numerous than can be numbered. Sacrifice and offering thou didst not desire. Mine ears thou hast opened. Burnt offerings and sin offerings thou hast not required. So now we're going to stop right there. We'll pick up again tomorrow in 7 and 8, and we'll pick up with 6 again, because we have a passage that comes over into the New Testament here. Verse 6 and 7 and 8 come over into the New Testament in the book of Hebrews, chapter 10. So we'll pick up those tomorrow and talk about that on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.